Hello, welcome back. In a shocking turn of events, Jimmy Evans, a prominent figure in Christian media and leadership, has dropped a bombshell about Joni Lamb, co-founder and host of Daystar television network. Rumors have been circulating for months, but now Evans has come forward with accusations that many had long suspected but never dared to voice publicly. Evans, best known for his leadership in Marriage Today and as a senior leader at Gateway Church, took to social media today to address what he calls the truth behind the scenes at Daystar and Joni Lamb's personal life. His post, which quickly went viral, detailed a series of allegations ranging from financial misconduct to power struggles within the network. In his statement, Evans accused Lamb of mismanaging funds donated by viewers, suggesting that millions intended for charitable causes were diverted to personal projects and luxury expenses. For years, we trusted Joni to lead with integrity and faith. But behind closed doors, it was a different story, Evans wrote. She used the network and its resources not for ministry but for her own gain. These claims have sent shockwaves across the Christian media landscape, with many viewers and supporters demanding answers. But it wasn't just financial allegations that Evans revealed. He also painted a picture of a toxic leadership environment at Daystar, describing Joni Lamb as someone who manipulated those closest to her. Joni made sure that anyone who questioned her decisions was silenced or pushed out, Evans claimed. Even those who were once her allies have faced betrayal. Insiders close to the network have reportedly backed up some of Evans' claims, hinting at years of internal conflicts and secrecy. As expected, the fallout has been swift. Social media is ablaze with reactions, with hashtags like Joni Exposed and Daystar Drama trending within hours of Evans' statement. While some supporters have rallied behind Joni Lamb, many others are calling for a full investigation into the network's finances and leadership practices. In a brief statement issued late this afternoon, Joni Lamb denied all allegations, calling them baseless and defamatory. I have dedicated my life to spreading the gospel and serving our viewers with integrity, she wrote. These accusations are nothing more than a smear campaign. However, Lamb's response did little to quell the growing storm, as many are now questioning whether more former insiders will come forward with additional revelations. As the scandal unfolds, all eyes remain on Daystar and Joni Lamb's next move. Will there be legal action? Will other leaders within the network speak out? And perhaps most importantly, how will this impact the faith of millions who have supported the network for decades? For now, one thing is certain: this story is far from over. Stay tuned for more updates as this developing controversy continues to rock the world of Christian broadcasting. The Christian broadcasting world has been rocked to its core after Jimmy Evans, a well-respected pastor, author, and media figure, made jaw-dropping allegations against Joni Lamb, the co-founder and leading face of Daystar television network. These revelations have left many in disbelief, while others are claiming this is the truth that needed to come out. For years, whispers of tension and controversy within Daystar have circulated, but few imagined that Jimmy Evans, a close associate and frequent guest on the network, would be the one to finally expose the truth. Sources close to Evans suggest that he had been sitting on this information for a while, hoping for resolution behind closed doors. However, after failed attempts to address the issues internally, Evans decided to go public, unleashing a firestorm that has everyone talking. The truth must prevail, Evans declared in his statement. I can no longer stand by and watch as viewers are deceived. According to Evans, Daystar has been involved in questionable financial practices for years, while the network boasts of being a faith-based organization. Evans alleges that funds meant for humanitarian efforts and spreading the gospel have been funneled into personal luxuries for Joni Lamb, and a select few within the network. Donors gave from their hearts, believing their contributions were making a difference in the world, Evans said. But instead, those funds were used to finance private jets, luxury homes, and extravagant lifestyles. Several anonymous insiders have since come forward, corroborating Evans' claims and hinting at lavish spending that far exceeds what most Christian leaders would consider appropriate. Evans didn't stop at financial misconduct. He painted a damning picture of Joni Lamb's leadership style, accusing her of creating a toxic environment at Daystar. Staff members lived in fear, Evans revealed. Anyone who dared to question Joni's decisions was immediately silenced or forced out of the organization. Former employees are now speaking out, describing the network as a cult-like environment where loyalty to Lamb was prioritized over integrity and transparency. One of the most shocking revelations is Evans' claim of personal betrayal. Despite their once close friendship, Evans alleges that Joni Lamb used their relationship to further her own agenda, often at his expense. "I trusted her as a friend and a leader," Evans lamented. But that trust was misplaced. She manipulated those around her to maintain control. The Christian community is divided. While some are standing by Joni Lamb, dismissing Evans' claims as a baseless attack, others are expressing outrage and demanding accountability. Pastor Mark Johnson, a former ally both Evans and Lamb, weighed in on the controversy. "This is a sad day for Christian broadcasting. We must pray for wisdom and discernment as the truth comes to light." On social media, the reactions have been even more intense. While Istanbul Joni has gained some traction, it has been overshadowed by hashtags like Expose and Daystar Scandal. Legal experts suggest that if Evans' allegations are proven true, Daystar and Joni Lamb could face serious legal consequences, including investigations into tax fraud, embezzlement, and donor deception. Already, reports are emerging that the IRS may be looking into Daystar's financial records. Additionally, several former employees are rumored to be considering legal action for wrongful termination and emotional distress. In response to the growing controversy, Joni Lamb has issued a second, more detailed statement denying all allegations and suggesting that Evans is motivated by personal grievances rather than facts. "This is nothing more than a coordinated smear campaign," Lamb said. "Daystar has always operated with the highest level of integrity and transparency. We will not be intimidated by these false accusations." Lamb's legal team has also hinted at the possibility of filing a defamation lawsuit against Evans, claiming his statements have caused significant harm to her reputation and the network's credibility. With both sides digging in, the situation is rapidly escalating. Insiders predict that more revelations could be on the horizon, with other former Daystar employees and associates potentially coming forward with their own stories. Meanwhile, viewers and donors are left in limbo, questioning the integrity of a network that has been a cornerstone of Christian television for decades. Will this be the downfall of Joni Lamb and Daystar? Or will she emerge victorious, clearing her name and restoring her reputation? One thing is certain, this controversy is far from over. Just when it seemed the controversy couldn't get any bigger, Daystar Television Network is now facing a tidal wave of new accusations following Jimmy Evans' explosive revelations about Joni Lamb. As more insiders step forward with damning claims, the scandal is spiraling into one of the most significant controversies ever to hit Christian media. Several former Daystar employees, emboldened by Evans' statement, are now coming forward with their own stories, shedding light on the internal operations of the network. One former producer, who spoke under the condition of anonymity, described Daystar as a place where fear and intimidation were the norm. Joni ruled with an iron fist, the producer alleged. "You were either loyal to her or you were out." People were fired for simply questioning her decisions or asking where the money was going. Another former staff member revealed that employees were required to sign non-disclosure agreements NDAs, effectively silencing them from speaking out about the network's inner workings. The NDAs were used as a weapon, the ex-staffer explained. If you left on bad terms or even raised concerns, you were threatened with legal action. It was all about protecting Joni's image. One of the most troubling aspects of the scandal revolves around the alleged misuse of millions of dollars in donor funds. Multiple sources have now corroborated Evans' claims, suggesting that Daystar's financial practices were far from transparent. A leaked internal document, reportedly from Daystar's finance department, shows a pattern of questionable expenditures, including private jet charters for personal vacations disguised as ministry trips. Lavish events hosted at five-star resorts, with little to no ministry-related activities. Luxury vehicles purchased under the network's name but used exclusively by Joni Lamb and select executives. With mounting evidence and growing public outcry, federal authorities may now be stepping in. According to sources close to the investigation, both the IRS and the FBI are reportedly examining Daystar's financial records to determine if fraud or tax evasion has occurred. Legal expert and former prosecutor David Michaels commented on the potential ramifications if these allegations are true. we're looking at serious federal charges, including wire fraud, embezzlement, and tax evasion. This could result in hefty fines, loss of nonprofit status, and even prison time for those involved. As the controversy escalates, several high-profile Christian leaders and organizations are beginning to distance themselves from Joni Lamb and Daystar. Prominent pastors who once appeared regularly on the network are now declining invitations or issuing cautious statements. Pastor Rick Harrison, a frequent guest on Daystar, released a statement on social media: "We are deeply saddened by the recent allegations. While we reserve judgment until all facts are known, we believe transparency and accountability are essential for any ministry." Meanwhile, several ministries have reportedly halted their financial partnerships with Daystar, opting to wait for the outcome of the investigation before continuing their support. Despite the growing backlash, some of Joni Lamb's closest allies are standing by her, insisting that the allegations are unfounded and part of a coordinated attack to bring down Daystar. Marcus Lamb Jr., Joni's son and a rising leader within the network, took to Instagram to defend his mother. "These lies will not stand. My mother has given her life to this ministry, and we will fight to clear her name. The truth will prevail." In a follow-up post, Marcus hinted that Evans and other accusers may have ulterior motives, suggesting that this could be a power grab aimed at taking control of Daystar. Jimmy Evans, however, isn't backing down. In a follow-up interview with a prominent Christian podcast, Evans hinted that more revelations are on the way. "What I've shared so far is just the tip of the iceberg," Evans said. "There are more people coming forward, and the truth will continue to come out. This is not about tearing anyone down, it's about holding leaders accountable and protecting the integrity of the gospel." Evans also addressed the claims that he has a personal vendetta against Joni Lamb, calling them desperate attempts to discredit the truth. "I have nothing to gain from this," Evans explained. "If anything, I've lost friends and opportunities by speaking out, but I couldn't stay silent any longer." The fallout from this scandal is already reshaping the Christian broadcasting landscape. Viewership at Daystar has reportedly taken a significant hit, with many longtime supporters expressing disillusionment and frustration. Meanwhile, competing networks like TBN and God TV are seizing the opportunity to attract disillusioned viewers, emphasizing their commitment to transparency and ethical practices. As investigations continue and more voices come forward, the future of Daystar hangs in the balance. Will the network survive this storm, or will it collapse under the weight of scandal and scrutiny? For Joni Lamb, the stakes couldn't be higher. With her reputation, ministry, and potentially her freedom on the line, the coming weeks will be critical in determining her fate.